Hi everyone, my name is Kate Kaltoff and I am with Stamping to Share. It's my Facebook page, it's my Stampin' Up blog, it's my Stampin' Up store. It's where I operate a home business from, and I'm so excited to be here sharing a really cute card with you. I'm going to show it to you. It uses the Dragonfly bundle along with the greenery embossing folders, and what I love about this card is when you open it up, it's sort of like the sentiment is on the outside when it's closed, and when you open it, it's a fun closure. Ta-da, the sentiment goes right into the inside. So you can't quite forget that this card is for a true friend. And I think it's just really cool. And I'm excited to share it with you. And also the paper that I'm using today, which is called the Dandy Garden 6x6 Designer Series paper, that's not going to be around for much longer. The bundle is carrying over and it's in our new catalog. However, the paper that looks so great with this stamp set is going to no longer be available after June. And so I highly suggest getting it if you don't have it and you already have the bundle, or if you're planning to purchase the bundle, go ahead and get the paper at the same time. You won't regret it. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so here are the supplies we're using on our card today, and you will see that I've got some Stays On jet black ink. I have, well, I will make a confession here. I actually used the 2-inch circle punch when I designed this card, and Stampin' Up! No longer has the 2-inch circle punch. Kind of shocking. But you can get about the same size if you go to the 4th largest from the center layering circle die. So if you have the layering circle dies, you can recreate this card if you don't have a 2-inch circle punch. And let's see, we also have the bundle, Fabulous, Fabulous, and it has 2 little dragonflies of varying sizes, and it's just really nice. I love it. And we have, of course, the fabulous Dandy Garden 6x6 Designer Series paper, and again, this is something that will be retiring at the end of June, so something for sure to maybe grab before it's no longer available. All right, so let's look one more time at these cards, and I'm going to show you the very first card that I designed and the difference between the two. So here's the card I came up initially when I was just kind of playing around trying to figure out what I was doing. And you'll notice that the inside panel is actually basic white. And then it turned out that I was looking at that and I don't know, I had this particular design with the white, so I was going with the white, but I just didn't like it as much. It just didn't seem to have as much pop. And so then I switched it out. I switched out my background paper to the one that has the misty moonlight in the background here. And I don't know, it just did so much more for me. And then you can see that I have this nice bumblebee color on the inside, and it just looks so pretty. Another thing that I did on the inside of this card is I added the little baby dragonfly in here just to punch out from the paper, and it looks, again, it looks so good, and I just love it. So I love the way the bumblebee cardstock looks in this card. And so let's go ahead and put this card together. I'm going to leave these here off to the side so I can remember what we're doing. But you're going to want to start with a misty moonlight card base. I have these cut at 5.5 by 7.25, and then I've scored them at 4 1/4. And I just want you to know that I then ran them through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the greenery embossing folder. Now there's 2 embossing folders with the greenery embossing folder set, and I used the one that has the foliage just kind of coming up from the bottom and coming down from the top. I think it's such an elegant look. I love it. I'm going to hold it up really close to the camera so you can see that. So basically, I just put the I just put it in, lined it up with the edge of the score line, and just like that, ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and was left with this impression. And so that's how I did that. So let me go ahead and fold this in. Of course, I'm going to use my bone folder, give this a nice good press, and we'll do the same thing over here. And here we have our front, our card base. The next thing that you want to do is grab some Bumblebee cardstock, because we're going to put our inside panel on next. This is your standard inside panel cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And what we're going to do next is I have some of the Dandy Garden Designer Series paper. And this is a 6 by 6 paper pack. So rather than try to cut it exactly to 5 1/4, I just cut it into a 1 1/4 by 6 inch strip. So basically just taking that 6 by 6 paper and cutting a 1 1/4 inch strip off of it. So what I like about doing it that way is then I can glue it onto the edge, and I know that this is going to show through to the front, and then I can just trim it even at the bottom. So I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue to do that. One thing I like to do is just put that paper up here next to where I'm gluing it, and then I can hold at the bottom when you have a little strip. Sometimes if you make it a little bit longer, you can use it as an anchor. And then I have a little place to hang on to it when I'm putting it onto the front of my card or onto a paper panel. So I'm going to set this in here, and I want to leave, about a 1/4 inch, maybe not quite a 1/4 inch. Just leave whatever looks good to you. But I want to have a sliver, a little bit bigger than a sliver of the Bumblebee showing through. The nice thing about glue is I can just kind of wiggle that into place. So I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one over here. Again, I'm just using the multi-purpose liquid glue. I just ordered some more of it this morning. I placed a demonstrator order. I had a number of people joining our Stamping to Share, or our Creative Crafters downline group last month. And I ran a special for the people who recruited. And so they got a little special gift from me. So I placed those orders today. And then I also placed my the rest of my paper share orders, because yesterday was the last day to get in on my paper shares. So I've been a busy girl already this morning. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to trim this so that it's even with the edge. And even though we had a Stampin' Up special last month, there's really never, it's just really always on special, our starter kit. And so I encourage you that if you're interested in becoming a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, you just join, no matter what the time of year is. When it's right, and you just do it. So let me go ahead now, and we're going to glue this inside panel on. I'm actually gluing the whole thing. And we're going to set this here. And the reason, a lot of times I leave a little bit of a flop or a flip in there. I keep it nice and loose, but because we've got we're going to be doing a special closer, I want this to be in here pretty securely. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Just going to glue this inside panel in, and that looks great. So let me get this in here, and then we'll move on to our next step. All right, that looks nice and even, so we're going to set this aside for a minute. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to punch out some dragonflies here. So I'm going to show you that there is some punchable dragonflies. So we've got a couple of options here, and just FYI, when you punch these dragonflies, they are not going to line up. The little baby dragonfly doesn't really line up very well. So when you punch it, you are really only punching the one. So you're going to line it up so that you're punching out a big dragonfly. And then this little baby dragonfly here, we're going to use as an accent on our cards. So we're going to hang on to him. And we're going to do this pretty coral one here. So I'm going to, again, just get that all lined up in my punch. And give that a punch. And again, we have a little extra. And we have our 2 dragonflies. And now I just want 1 extra little dragonfly. So I'll punch that out. And I think I already have 3 others of these punched out. Let me just double check. Yep, I do. So we're going to need 3 of the little baby dragonflies for each of our cards. And we're going to need 1 of the bigger dragonflies for each of the cards. Then I've got our closure strips here that we're going to work with. And the strips, the whisper white, well, the basic white strips are 1 inch by 4 1/4. And one thing you can do right off the bat is just take your scissors and you are going to cut, let's see. You're going to cut 1 edge off so you have an angled edge. So this is not, you don't have to be real fussy with this. Just give it a cut with your scissors and off you go. Then the next thing you're going to do is and you can use any kind of black ink. I just happen to grab the jet black StazOn, but whatever black ink you want to use. And we're going to take For a Friend and stamp that just to the right of that angled cut. So we're going to do that again over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our circle cutouts and we're going to actually put this on our circle cutout. And I can go ahead and I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal to do that. So just a little Stampin' Seal. Whoops, I did not start this correctly. There we go. We're going to do that on both. And then we're going to set this onto our Mossy Meadow circle cutout so that it's about in the middle. And we're going to do the exact same thing over here. See how easy this is? Then just take your scissors and you're going to just trim that edge right up next to the circle. Do the same thing with this one. And there we go. So super easy. All right, there's not much left to this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to close our card. So before I close it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a cute little baby dragonfly here to the inside panel. And I'm going to do that with a mini glue dot. So I'm just grabbing a mini glue dot here. And we'll set this guy like right here. Whoops, I must have missed the glue dot. Let me try again. We'll try one more time. Now, I know that some of you really, really love it when I do a kit to go. And you may have noticed that I did not do a kit to go in May. And the reason I didn't do a kit to go in May is I wasn't really around very much with the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip and other things going on. And I had the paper shares. Well, then we only got back on the 31st of May. So this week has sort of been a catch-up week. You know how that is, like a pile of mail to go through. All my customers needed thank you cards for the orders that they placed. I was really, really busy. So I'm hoping to launch my kit to go on Tuesday. So I'll have maybe some time over this weekend to finalize the cards. And honestly, I cannot even remember the name of the stamp set that I'm using. I should really look that up so I can tell you. So let me just go find a catalog because I know what kit I'm using. I just can't remember the name. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got a catalog here. I'm just going to look it up real quick. Gosh, I don't even know where to look. It's the one with, maybe one of you guys would know. So it's the one that has the hanging plants and the planter and the cute little plants that can be cut out with die cuts. I have no idea what it's called. I don't even know where in the catalog it would be. I don't know. I maybe just have to, oh, I know. I could go back to the bundles in the back because it's a bundle. So let me do that. Let's see. You know, I maybe should have been just a tad more organized before I started this. But I do want to, oh, here it is. It's called Perfect Plants. Let me go to the page number. It's page, or is that the stamp? Nope. Perfect Plants are the dies. The bundle I'm using is called Plentiful Plants Bundle, page 81. And I'll tell you why I'm using this. Okay, so here it is. This is what I'm going to debut on Tuesday, which is coming up here. Tuesday, June 8th. So I'm going to make 4 cards and we're going to do our kit to go with the Plentiful Plants. And the reason I wanted to do Plentiful Plants is because you guys, you have no idea how exciting this kit is for people that are my daughter's age. My daughters are so into plants, it's ridiculous. And one of my daughters even makes macrame plant holders. Like, I think she's a child of the 60s. I'm not sure how she got this genetic quirk to make macrame plant holders. It's just amazing. So, of course, I'm going to, I had to do a kit to go with that, and it's super cute. And once you start working with it, it's really fun, especially since you can die cut so many of the images directly from the designer series paper. So that's what we'll be doing when I'm creating these cards for you. So there's the kit to go. So what are we doing next here? We're going to go ahead and put this on dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals. And I don't even really need to look. I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals over here. And we're going to do the same thing over here, because I know this is where my closure is going to be. We'll take off the peelies, and then we'll grab our circle, and we're going to set that in here so that the For a True Friend is nice and level. We want that to be nice and straight across. Do the same thing on this side. This is such an easy card. So here it is. Here we go. Again, just set this over here. Make sure your For a True Friend is nice and level. Then we're going to take these bigger dragonflies, and we're going to put those on with dimensionals as well. So I'm going to flip it over. There's room for a dimensional right here. You only need 1. This will hold it really well. So we're going to take those little peelies off and then flip this over and just bring it in like this. Just set it on like that. Same thing with this side. Oh, this is so pretty. And then we just need to take these little guys, and again, using mini glue dots, I think I'll just put them all on at one time. And then we can just put them onto our card at one time. I love doing this. So here we go. Okay, so now we're going to just pop these on here. Just have them flying around. One up here on the right, one to the lower left. And the cards are done. So let me show you again how awesome this is. So you just pop open this closure button here. Isn't this fun? Oh my goodness, I just love this card. I hope you do too. I hope you've enjoyed this today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and be sure to come back here on Tuesday at 10 a.m. and I'll kick off my June kit to go with Plentiful Plants Bundle. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.